The opening credits to Breakfast at Tiffany's might just be the best in cinema history. Now that's a very subjective statement, but here's why I love this opening. If you haven't seen Breakfast at Tiffany's, I wouldn't blame you if you skipped it altogether. It has its moments, don't get me wrong, but in my opinion, this opening is without a doubt the best bit of the film. I don't think I can pin down exactly what it is about this opening that made me fall in love with it, but I think it all comes down to this. I just want to be standing there with her. The whole scene oozes with this feeling of peaceful contentment, as if there is no better place in the world to be at that very moment than looking through those windows. There's no agenda, there's no problems or worries. There is just nothing more than, well, having breakfast at Tiffany's. So how does the movie cast this enchanting spell? Like all great movie scenes, I think it's a lot of things working together in unison. Starting with the setting, this is New York City, but not as we know it. The streets aren't bustling with cars and people, it's not lively and loud. We see only one person, there is literally no one else around. She is alone in a city that is home to literally millions of people. She's staring through windows that usually would have several other people doing exactly the same thing. How is she able to do this? Well, it's all about the time of day. It's very early in the morning, so early that even though it's light, the street lamps are still on. I think that the early morning setting is another reason why this scene is particularly evocative. There is something so peaceful and tranquil about being awake so early in the morning. You see the world in a completely different light, both figuratively and literally. There's an almost magic quality to it, and the scene beautifully plays into this feeling. Audrey Hepburn finds the pristine serenity that this time of day provides. There is no rush, no stress. There is nothing more that needs to be done than just to look through these windows. And that's another thing I love about this scene. There is such a calming simplicity to it. There's no dialogue or significant moments of action. It's just a character looking through some windows, eating a pastry. Which on paper doesn't sound like an engaging way to start a movie. But that just highlights how well crafted this scene is. The beauty is in its simplicity, and I for one just wanted it to last forever. Obviously, we can't talk about this scene without mentioning Hepburn's costume. Right off the bat, there is this mystery being planted. Why is she dressed so elegantly for 6 AM in the morning? There is such a compelling juxtaposition between how she is dressed and what she is doing. Who wears that to eat a pastry and window shop? Just from this scene, we get such an insight into who Holly is as a character, yet we know nothing about her. But we do know that she's the kind of person that you'll find eating pastries outside Tiffany's in the early morning, wearing an elegant black dress. I find it impossible not to get swept up in this scene, and we haven't even mentioned probably what deserves the most credit for giving this scene its power: the music. A heavenly rendition of Moon River plays throughout, and it's just perfect. Not only is it a wonderful score, but it fits the scene so well. It perfectly encapsulates everything about this moment. The elegance of Hepburn, the calming essence of the early morning, and the solitary nature of her actions. There's an almost wistful feeling to the music, but in a positive way, if that makes any sense at all. It implores you to relax and just soak it all in. The music, along with everything else I just mentioned, makes this scene feel somewhat ephemeral. It feels like it's captured a time and a place and a moment that can never be repeated. Although you could probably go to New York City, get up really early one morning, buy a pastry, dress up nice, and reenact this scene, but I'm sure it wouldn't be the same. Strangely enough, in a later scene that actually takes place in Tiffany's, the store clerk says this about a ring from a Cracker Jack box.
It gives one a feeling of solidarity, almost of continuity with the past, that sort of thing.
I couldn't have put it better myself. This scene is, in a way, a connection to the past, a time capsule, a portal through which we can gaze back to a specific point in time and feel like we were there, right there, standing next to the girl in the elegant black dress. And that's why I think that the opening credits to Breakfast at Tiffany's is a magnificent movie moment. Thank you for watching.